Fighting Evolution Wrestling in South Florida, Coral Springs High School. She had a big match tonight. The Alaskan Assassin. She's making a mark. First, you got to just tell us, how did it come up with the name, the Alaskan Assassin?
I'm from Alaska. I'm from North Pole, Alaska, where it's very cold and very intense and very extreme.
And then the assassin part of it, is that sort of also
that
from...
Killer, it's that fighter instinct, how you gotta survive.
How did you get your start in pro wrestling?
I'm a personal trainer. I did amateur wrestling in high school and was just feeling that urge to fight. Like, I'm a fighter in general, you know, so I have some experience with Muay Thai and some martial arts in the background. I was also a soccer player and gymnast, and then just got the urge to start grappling and wrestling again, and it just organically happened that I came into pro wrestling.
How did you get from Alaska to Miami? Two different ends of the world.
Absolutely. I moved from Alaska to California, actually, and when I was pursuing singing, I used to sing. So I was playing in bands, playing rock bands, reggae bands, different things with that. So I was living in California, and then I also started getting into fitness in California, and then from there, I moved to Miami 3 years ago to get more into the entertainment aspect of fitness and just build a brand.
Singing, this is something that you've been doing for a while. You mentioned the bands. Tonight, you sang the National Anthem, and that's just something different, because we mentioned Lillian Garcia and JoJo earlier, and they really don't wrestle, but here you are, you're singing, did a great job with the anthem, and then also you're wrestling. Right. How do you look at that dynamic, that you're able to do two different things like that?
I feel that I'm multifaceted, and that I've been holding on to these talents and building them for some time, and then the pro wrestling kind of just brought it all together, and now it's this platform that I have the opportunity to do that and showcase it in front of other people. So, I mean, I think it just shows, like, as far as the character goes, or me, you never know what you're gonna get. Like, there's you haven't seen everything yet. It's always gonna be something new.
How did you find Fighting Evolution Wrestling and their school, their academy that they have in Miami Gardens?
I realized I wanted to get into pro wrestling. Honestly, I just started researching, and the number one thing it says is move to Florida. I'm like, well, thank God, because I'm already in Florida, so I can do this. And living in Miami, I looked up the school. There was a couple of other schools. JB's was top of the list, called him. He didn't answer the first time, and it bummed me out, because I was like, really, it's going to be like this? Like, I'm going to have to fight my way into this? And then he called me back right away. I went to the school, checked it out, told him exactly what I wanted to do, and he's given me the opportunity and been working with me since.
Now, your brothers were big wrestling fans growing up.
Fans.
And so you do contact them and talk to them a little bit about it, because you knew about pro wrestling, but you weren't a huge fan growing up. So how did you start to learn more about pro wrestling, and as far as training and watching?
Well, I mean, first, when I was going to do this, I called my older brother, who was just a crazy diehard fan for years and years that I didn't really understand myself. And, I was like, listen, I think I'm going to get into pro wrestling. Like, I can do this. What do you think about this? And he thought it was the awesomest thing ever. And immediately, he's sending me all these women that I need to look up, so that I would have reference, and just giving me tips on how to build my character, or like his perspective on how he sees me. My nephew is also a huge fan too, so that's been cool, because it's helped to rebuild our relationship. And once he found out, he reached out to me, because all my family is in Alaska. And same thing, like, Lakin helps me build the character. I was messaging with him the other day. I'm like, listen, I think I want to do this and this. And they see me well, so it's helpful that they can see where I should go as a character, because they know me. And then also, of course, the resources at the school, like G and JB have told me, hey, you need to watch this and this and this, as we're all kind of working together to help me develop myself through this character. So, just studying and getting what I can.
You've been doing this now about 6 months?
About 6 months, yeah.
About 6 months, and you're progressing well.
Yeah,
things are going well for you.
Thank you. I love it, and I put in the work, so, I mean, it's what I'm supposed to do. I know that, so there's not really any roadblocks. It's just a matter of kind of grinding through the stuff that sucks and getting the points that get better, and there's always going to be those highs and lows, but I know I'm with the right people, to get to the next level.
How do you feel about, did you put your singing career then on hold to do this? And is that something you still want to pursue as well?
Absolutely. I mean, I put it on hold in the sense that I was like, I need something that is going, like, fitness would be another platform, and that way I wouldn't be struggling as a singer and waitressing and whatever. I'd have a profession, and then I could integrate that because it's possible, you know, if you meet the right people. And like I said, then the wrestling can happen pretty organically, and it's all, yes, absolutely, it's all encompassing. Like, I want to be able to build on everything and kind of elevate it all.
Do you think being from Alaska also is another niche for you in the sense of it's something different?
Totally. This, like, the Assassin can go anywhere. It's endless with the things that are relative to Alaska, and I'm different than other people. I have a different background, I have a different story, and you know, and I think I'm a pretty real person. I think that helps. You know, people like that, they kind of gravitate towards that. So I definitely think the Alaskan thing gives me an edge, and it keeps me true to who I am, you know. So.
What do you like about what you're doing so far with pro wrestling?
I love wrestling, to be completely honest. Like, I love the chaining, I love the flow of it. I'm a big weightlifter myself, so I like being able to use my body in a different way and toss and jump and, you know, just kind of go crazy and lose myself in that moment. That's probably the coolest part, is that it's like you just go into another world, and that's all that really matters. The fans have been cool too. I mean, I haven't been doing it that long, but I've already got some pretty diehard fans that follow up with me on Messenger. You know, like, it's very cool how interactive people are, and how loyal they are. Just wrestling in general, it's awesome.
In doing this, as long as you've been doing it, what are you trying, where are you at now? What are you trying to improve on? Where are you going from now? Because it's still been 6 months,
right.
So there's a long way to go here.
Absolutely. My goal is to get into the NXT and get in the developmental program, you know, and put in the time that I need to train consistently. I need to just get into a position where that's my job, is to train all the time to get great at it. And, you know, I'm hoping I can plug that in the next 6 months to a year.
Has your family seen you wrestle yet?
Not in person. They've seen video clips. They've seen some clips on Facebook and Instagram, but yeah, that probably won't happen for a while. I mean, I know we'll have the show, the YouTube show, so they'll be able to watch that, but for now it's just the Instagram and Facebook. So, but they're totally stoked on it. I mean, my nephew is like, "That's my aunt." He just thinks I'm like the coolest thing ever, so it's pretty awesome.
Musically,
yeah.
Who are some of your music favorites?
Oh, I mean, I'm always like, I'm a rocker chick, and especially women in rock, I just, like, I love it. Like, they're my major inspirations. I'm gonna say No Doubt. Like, Gwen Stefani's pretty badass. She's totally unique, you know. Anything from that Orange County scene back then when it was like Sublime and all that. And then also, in the nowadays, I really like In This Moment. I mean, it's a hardcore rocker chick. Hailstorm. Who else? The Pretty Reckless. Yeah. Kind of all over the place, but it's always rock.
Alaska, and now in Florida.
Yeah.
Of course, the weather. But has there been any other things that have been so different about Florida, South Florida, compared to Alaska?
I mean, if you've ever been to South Florida, you know it's like no other place in the United States. You feel like you're in multiple different countries. And that is very cool, but it's also pretty intense too, you know? South Florida, it's totally different than anywhere else in the world. It's absolutely beautiful though, and there are lots of different types of people and cultures, which I really like to be around, you know. I think that's a really cool way to experience life. People are different though. I would say for how hot it is, it's kind of mind-blowing to me how cold people can be. The traffic is insane here as far as just, it doesn't make any sense how people drive. Like, I have huge road rage, but you also have to be extremely aggressive if you're gonna get anywhere. Like, that's just the way that it is. I mean, those are just a couple of things.
How do you describe yourself as a person? And you've done some of that already.
Yeah.
How do you describe yourself as the Alaskan Assassin?
The Alaskan Assassin has been through some shit. That's what it comes down to, you know. And it's like, I really believe passionately in dreams and in people being free with themselves and who they are, and not being constricted by society or environment or whatever. And you know, I've got a lot of things that just piss me off.